and welcome to the Ghoul Guide Association, the show where we talk about all things gothic and pop culture. We are, of course, your Ghoul Guides. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Mary.
And this is a bonus episode because Mary went to a bunch of film festivals. You know about them.
Yes, this is the long promised. I don't know if it's much awaited,
The
but
much
hopefully,
anticipated.
yes, bonus episode of So You Don't Like Horror. It is a festival bonus episode, and maybe we planned it this way. We're in the festive holiday period, so it can be a festive treat
It's a little bonus
for you
gift.
all.
It's our gift to you,
So,
our dear association members.
for those of you who do listen to our So You Don't Like Horror strand, it's a show where I talk to Lauren about all the horror films that I have seen. I love horror films. Lauren is a little bit of a scaredy cat.
I love the concept of horror films, but not the reality of horror films.
So I break them down for Lauren and tell her if I think she would like them, if I think she would be able to watch them, and I also spoil them, especially if I know that she can't watch them. Because these are on the festival circuit, and they haven't been released yet, I'm probably not going to spoil them as much as I would, but I am still going to let you know, like, if I think, Lauren, if you could watch it or if you'd
there's any
like them.
you need to know going in.
Yeah. So for all of you horror fans out there, or for those of you squeamish horror wannabes, like, there's still going to be lots for all of you to enjoy.
Horror posers such as myself.
Horror adjacent fans.
Like when I was a teenager, when I used to sit on the top of the skate ramp, but never actually skateboarded because I was too chicken.
you can live vicariously through me.
And boy, do I.
So this episode, we're going to be talking about Mayhem, which is a film festival that takes place in the lovely city of Nottingham.
The best city in the world.
According to some. It is one of the nicest cities in the UK. If you haven't been, you should definitely go and visit there. And if you are into film festivals, then I would say Mayhem is a really amazing.
We have a
lovely,
really gothic history here in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Like, part of the Civil War took place here. Obviously, we have Robin Hood. We have we are a city of caves. I will eventually do an episode about my beloved city. But it's a great location for a horror film festival because we have a pretty dark history.
Yes. And so Mayhem takes place at the Broadway Cinema. And they're kind of like, I don't know, tagline. They put this out on their website. We screen the best in contemporary horror, science fiction, and cult cinema and television from around the world. The co-directors are Chris Cook, Stephen Shield, and Melissa Gunau. I apologise. I do know how to say that and I've forgotten. And I also just want to pause. Chris Cook is one of my favourite people. He's such a nice person, and you've obviously been in my house, Lauren. I have a poster downstairs. I have a poster downstairs above my sofa of The Prince of Darkness, which is a 1987 film poster starring Donald Pleasance. And the reason why I love that poster, and my partner's like, we should swap it out and put something different there. I'm like, no. It's because Donald Pleasance's character, he plays a priest in it. It really reminds me of Chris Cook. So I just like, and he does know that. We have told him that.
It's good because otherwise it would be weird for the first time to that be public knowledge.
Chris is lovely. All, Chris, Steve, and Melly, they put a lot of work into the festival, and they're all really, really lovely. And this year was actually the 21st edition of the festival, so it has been going for a long time.
It has. I remember it starting because I remember being like, that's cool. I shan't be going, but I love that it's happening.
Well, you say that, but there are, it doesn't just do horror. It is about lots of other kinds of genres. And I think not this year, but last year, there was a film called Hundreds of Beavers that I think you would have loved. And it is...
Yes, you did tell me about that, and it was awesome.
Yeah, magical. So every now and then, it's just, obviously, I haven't seen the film, so I can't tell you what you would enjoy or not. But this took place from the 16th to the 19th of October. Obviously, it was a whole like weekend. It starts on like Thursday and then it ends on Sunday. I'm not going to talk about all of the films. I'm just going to share some of my favorite. And you can get a kind of glimpse into, I think, the real international kind of flavor of this festival, and also lots of the different genres. So these are in no order. So me talking about a film first or last is no bearing on how much I liked it.
They're on equal footing.
Yeah. But the first film is actually, the first film that I'm going to talk about is one that you actually mentioned to me, and it is The Old Woman with the Knife, which is a Korean film directed by Kyu-dong. It's from South Korea, and it is essentially about a woman who is an older assassin. She works for an assassin company. They call themselves, it's like a cleanup kind of front.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we get rid of, we're pest control. We get rid of the dirt.
Yeah.
And they're assassins for hire, and they'll just go and get rid of someone, kill them, clean up the body, get rid of it. Done. Perfect. She takes on a young apprentice and basically discovers that they actually have quite a lot in common. So it's kind of like you have this older woman who is like a celebrity in this organization. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, she's like the best of the best, and she's so like renowned. And then this young upstart comes in, and you can tell that he immediately has beef with this woman. And you're kind of like, what's going on? He seems like just to be kind of one of those like young men in their early 20s who's just angry and is also like, I think that the way that you're doing things is wrong, and I'm going to do things my way. But then they do have history. They are connected in the past. And you kind of uncover that throughout the film. And what I really liked about it is there's lots of really interesting fight scenes, and they're also really they're really, really violent, which you will not appreciate, Lauren, but it's
the reason why I haven't watched it.
yeah. But I really enjoyed it, and I think if you are into that kind of like violence, but also kind of like martial artsy kind of stuff, and I think especially having an older actor and a female actor in that kind of main role, I think is just amazing. And she's such a great character.
Like it, but the woman who plays the assassin, the reason that I was like, oh my god, is because the woman that plays the assassin is like a really, really famous, well-respected actress in South Korea. She's the daughter of, I think, a director, so she's like from a cultural family. And the young guy, who I've just double checked his name so I get it right, Kim Sung-chol, he has been in quite a few things recently. So he was in a film that I have seen called The Battle of Jangsari, which is where I first saw him. But he's one of the kind of latest, like, oh, this is someone who has real acting chops. And I always find it really fascinating because he'll do like, he did like a romance drama, and then he'll do something really, really fucking dark. But yeah, from what I understand, if you like the Vengeance trilogy or I'm Back or anything like that, you'll really like this film.
Yeah, it's so good. It was on the Thursday night. So it starts on Thursday night, and we got there, and I was just like, I am sold. I'm having a good time. This is great. The next film that I want to, the next film that I have on my list, again, no order. This was actually one of their retrospectives, so it is older. It came out in 1976, but it is called Chess of the Wind, and it's an Iranian film directed by Mohammad Reza Aslani. And the reason why I think it had been lost, because it was quite controversial when it came out in Iran. And
well, considering the time, like the timing as well, I can imagine. Like,
and I think this copy, like it turns out that someone had like an older copy that hadn't been destroyed, and so people have kind of like rediscovered this film, and I would kind of describe it, and my partner Craig also described it as a kind of like Iranian Fall of the House of Usher. And I also think Lauren, I think you can absolutely watch this. I think this is one that you can watch. It's basically,
this was the one that when you and Craig told me, I was like, I want to see this film.
Yeah, it's like so the kind of plot synopsis. It's a web of betrayal essentially ensnares the heirs to a family fortune. It's a matriarchal estate, and the matriarch has recently died, and so you can see like all of these kinds of like family kind of like interests kind of coming up and trying to take control of the money and the property. So I think it was screened just once in Iran before it was banned, and then it had been lost for decades. But then so it is like screened once and then lost, and then now here we have, and it's set in like this Iranian like but gothic-y old dark house. There's lots of floors, there's lots of like kind of secret spaces. It's all about inheritance and relationships. You have the husband of the woman that died. She also has a daughter who's in a wheelchair, and she's engaged, but then there's all of these questions about him and his motives. Some like different people die and then they're not dead, and it's so good. Like if you like that kind of
Very
like
Poe.
very Poe, very kind of gothic but also gossipy, and they do this really interesting thing that made me think of Kathleen. They have several times a kind of shot outside of the house where all of the servants are basically washing, like doing the washing like of the like linen and stuff, and just gossiping about the people in the house. And I just like, oh, it's so gothic.
That's such that's like such a traditional gothic thing to do. I love that.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something really interesting, and again, like for scaredy cats, it's more about that kind of like family betrayal and fighting over inheritance and things and what's being said and who can you trust. And this is it's really brilliant. It's so good. And
Awesome.
like it's one of those amazing finds as well, where you go, you go to a retrospective and you're like, what's this gonna be like? And you just discover a real gem, and I think that's what this is. That was really great. The next one that I want to talk about is called Redux, and this is directed by Kevin and Matthew McManus, and this is an American film, and it's essentially a time travel film. So it's a bit more sci-fi than horror, but the reason why, unfortunately, Lauren, I don't think you can watch this is because it is a woman who is trying to avenge the death of her daughter. Her young daughter.
I remember you telling me about this one.
Her young daughter has been kidnapped, and though the murderer in her kind of world, in her universe, has been caught, she doesn't know where the body of her daughter is. He won't say. And he's basically a serial killer who abducts children and young girls and murders them. So she time travels to different universe travels throughout all of these paradigm shifts. She has like a little machine that she gets into to go to different universes. She finds this man, she kills him in all of these different ways. She is trying to find out where he's hidden her body, but she also is out for revenge. So
because I think I said to you, it sounds like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
A horror.
Yeah. And she does. So she does. In one universe, she stumbles on a girl who he has in his kind of house that he hasn't yet killed. She manages to rescue him, but then obviously this girl is like, yeah, but I'm a bit of a loner, I'm a bit of a drifter, I'm from not a very nice house, not and I also want, if you're getting revenge on this man, I want revenge on this man. I'm in. And this woman is like, no, I do this on my own, and also like this is all about my daughter and I don't need a surrogate daughter figure. So yeah, it's really quite emotional at times.
It's reminding me a lot of sorry to cut you off. It's reminding this is a very X-Men storyline. Like there's quite a few narratives in X-Men, like with people like Cable and Bishop, where like they're traveling to different alternate universes and through time, and quite often like the whole thing with Cable is he ends up with this like baby called Hope, and he has to like protect baby Hope, and he becomes her father essentially. Like, so there's something about time travel narratives that like lend really well to this like idea of found family.
It's about that. It's about grief, it's about trauma, it's about will revenge and seeking revenge help you how to move on. And yeah, it's all tied up in this narrative that does become a little bit about found family, and it's both horrific but also really, really moving at the same time. So I don't think it's out yet, but obviously when it comes out, it's one to keep an eye out for. I think it was really good. Okay, the next one is a film called Mag, and this was the UK premiere. It was directed by Yuriyan Retriever, who is from Japan. I hadn't heard of this person before. This was her feature film debut, but apparently she is quite big on the internet and YouTube and stuff. She's been on America's Got Talent. I was really intrigued by that, so I went, because I will get into why I really liked her film. I went and
Is
watched
this why
it
you
and
suddenly started watching a lot of America's Got Talent clips?
I didn't know that you knew that, but maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Did you tell me that?
Possibly. But yeah, I went and watched these. I went and watched her. She's been on twice. I don't really understand her act, and also I don't think her act is at all connected to the film. So while she is famous online, and you know,
weird pivot,
go and live your best life. I'm no judgment. It's just they're not connected. Yeah. But this film is a kind of a weird parody, satire, love letter to J-horror. It is it's blending loads of kinds of films and directors from J-horror, The Grudge, The Ring, like all of these kinds of things to make this weird and wonderful story about Mag. And the idea is that if you see her, it's too late. And if she falls in love with you, the only escape is death. Mag is a kind of giant woman with long hair. She goes after men. She falls in love with them. Like Momo. She falls in love with them, but obviously because she's so big and because she's so monstrous, if she falls in love with you, you will end up dead. So there's this spate of like men that get killed, and you can see Mag, and it's this whole thing, and then you find out like it's so funny. I thought it was just so brilliant. And there's this bit where, so this is, I guess, a little bit of a spoiler. So if you do want to go in not knowing anything,
blind.
I'm not going to spoil the ending, but this is something that happens in the middle kind of bit of the film. They all think that they found out who Mag is, that she's the spirit of a girl who was bullied. She wasn't very pretty conventionally. The kind of popular guy in class who is one of the kind of murder victims. So you know, in that whole kind of J-horror thing where they go back to the start, and this is where her spirits come from. He put a note, you know, asked her out, and then she's like yes, and then he's like, I'm not going to go out with you because you're really ugly. And then allegedly she committed, you know, she killed herself. And everyone's like, yeah, like we don't know what, like we don't know what happened, and she's not at school anymore because she's dead, and then now he's dead, and then now all of these other boys are dead. So the people that are investigating Mag, they go to her house, her mother's there, and they're talking to her mother, trying to find out more about Mag. They're like, can we put like something, can we go and like pray to her shrine? And the mother looks at them like, what are you talking about? And then the girl walks in because she's not dead. She's not dead. And
She's changed schools.
She just changed school. She's like, I don't want to go there anymore because these people are mean. That's not Mag. But it's just really funny and really joyful. Yuriyan Retriever did say that it was kind of inspired by all the times that she's been broken up with and all the men. So it is very much, I think, that kind of, you know, poking fun in a kind of feministy kind of way.
Yeah, like I don't watch J-horror, but I read a lot of like manga and webtoon, and obviously I read a lot of like Japanese and horror and stuff, and in both like J and K drama, like that's such a like it's such a classic trope. Like there's a K drama at the moment that if it's good, I'll review it, where it's like this teacher goes back in time and she knows one of the students has killed her, and she has to figure out like which student it was, and like there is this like quite considerable trope, particularly in like J drama and J horror. And when you told me about this one, I did remember thinking like, oh, if I can watch this, I really, really want to, because I think I'll find it really funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny, and it's also so bizarre and weird. I think if you like J horror, then you'll absolutely love this film. But it is a kind of horror parody.
It sounds like an anime concept in live action.
Yeah. But yeah,
which I like.
If anyone else has heard of Yuriyan Retriever before, and you know wants to like say how they think this film compares, then do let me know.
Let us know.
But I think that, you know, if she wants to keep making films, I will go and watch them, because this is great.
Mm-hmm. We're in.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the next one, Bone Lake. This is another American one, and it's directed by Mercedes Bryce Morgan. And this is one that I think is very, very gothic, but also, unfortunately, I think that you won't be able to watch it, Lauren, even though you would enjoy it. It starts, it's basically a romantic, so there's this couple that have gone on a romantic break to the secluded Bone Lake. And yes, if you are thinking, is there a pun on Bone Lake? Yes, it's very much that kind of like Airbnb. You can go, it's this massive house, it's by a lake, they've got it all. I know you're laughing, but this film is also so funny.
Sorry, we also, because we for context, we've just recorded the Saint Nick episode. And I didn't even manage to not laugh at all the times Mary said bone. So I'm already in a giddy state of childishness.
Yeah.
So Bone Lakes just tipped a romantic break to Bone Lakes just tipped me over the edge, even though I know it's an intentional pun.
It is an intentional pun. There is, oh my gosh, yeah. So this couple go. You can see that they've not got problems in their relationship, but I think that you can tell that there's a little bit of tension there, a little bit of things that maybe
like a make it or break it trip.
Yeah, and we also know that he's gone there. He's booked this romantic getaway. I think it was a surprise to his girlfriend. He's going to propose. He's got a ring. He's got it all planned out. All this kind of stuff.
Of course, because that's what you do when the relationship is struggling.
It's not struggling. So it's not struggling. Oh, okay. There's just some issues. Like, okay. It's just a normal, healthy relationship that has, you know. So they go there, they get in, they immediately start doing exactly what you think a couple would do when you've just got to a big house at Bone Lake. And then they can hear voices. Another couple have arrived. And because this is Airbnb, and it's like, you know, you sign in and you have codes, but it's also, there's another company and the house is rented out on both of them, and they've kind of double booked them, and this other couple are like, you know, really they're gorgeous and they're clearly very wealthy, and they're like, oh well, this is quite a big house, why don't we both just stay here and we can, you know, hang out, but then also, like, you know, do our own stuff, and it'll be great, and it'll be great. And you can kind of see that the original guy is like, no, what the hell? But because his girlfriend doesn't know that he had planned this to be his proposal weekend, she's like, yeah, all right, okay, sure, whatever. And then, so you have these two people, and then they're like really weird to the point where they both start kind of like flirting with and
I was just about to say
making
giving swinger energy.
yeah, exactly. And it's a weekend that started out being a weekend of romance, then kind of turns into like sex lies and horrific violence. It ends up being a fight for survival. I won't spoil it. I will say though that it is very gothic, and I'm emphasizing the gothic. So like I think it's quite obvious where it's going, but I think maybe that's because I often
we're literally trained to read the genre.
But I will spoil the beginning, just because I think it's really beautiful. In that, you know, that there is something going on at Bone Lake before the main kind of couples get there, because
they do that thing where it's like the frame narrative almost?
There is a frame narrative, and in this narrative, a couple are running away from the house. They are in the forest or the woods. Someone has a bow and arrow, and obviously they're both naked. They're both running. I think it's really funny. The girl that's running, she doesn't stop to help her partner, who gets an arrow through his private region, shall we say. So this is I really enjoyed this. I think it's fun. I think it's gothic. It's got lots of gore. So it's one not to watch if you're into violence, but it is definitely like, if you can watch it in a cinema, it's very fun to have that kind of crowd reaction. Again, like watching that opening frame with a full cinema and seeing everyone. Ooh, yeah. It's just
nice like communal experience.
very communal, very
yeah. Well, I suspect that over the next, as we go into 2026, usually the festival circuit films get picked up, so keep an eye on your local independent cinema or on Shudder to see kind of like these come out, because I suspect as things pick up buzz and pick up traction, they'll get released.
Yeah, that is part of what festivals are for. They're to get that kind of buzz, and hopefully if they don't already have a kind of distributor, then they might get picked up. Shudder often picks up loads of great films from the festival circuit, and then also, if you're lucky, then these will be in the cinema as well. With that, there is just one more film that I do want to mention, because I did try and keep this to 5, but I was like, I couldn't. There were so many good films that I enjoyed. And this one is called Dead by Dawn, and it's a Polish horror film. It's directed by Dawid Torrone. And it's kind of a bit giallo-esque. So, there's a murderer, and so giallo films, it's a kind of Italian genre that then is inspired the kind of slasher genre. So you have this kind of murder mystery, and then you see that there is a masked killer. You have to try and work out who it is. The kind of the conceit of the narrative is it's actually set around Christmas. This acting troupe have gone to this theatre. It's a really, really famous theatre where lots of kind of big plays, but also big name actors have been and become famous and they're rehearsing for this play, and it's going to be it's gonna be debuting soon. So that you're basically watching this acting troupe in this old spooky theatre rehearsing this play, and the play is weird, avant-garde, not, but whatever. But it is essentially then turns into this giallo / slasher. If you are a fan of this genre, it pays homage to stage fright and also other kinds of films like Opera and Tenebra, all of this kind of stuff. The thing about this film that I really loved is that the kind of killer in it wears a mask that is made entirely out of eyeballs.
Which is grim.
So this is another one I'm going to send you.
How does
So
that even work?
Not real eyeballs, like fake eyeballs, but it's okay. So but I will send you the poster. We'll put this up somewhere because it is genuinely like such an interesting concept. As soon as I saw the poster before I'd seen this film, I was like, I'm so interested because you know me, Lauren. I love Ezekiel angels.
Yes.
With the eyes and the rings.
We love
and
the biblically accurate angel.
Biblically accurate angels.
Association.
Maybe next Christmas season I can do an episode on angels. But yeah, like, so I was immediately like, Ezekiel, biblical angels, there has to be something there. And I'm not going to spoil any more, but I will say that I was not disappointed. And also, just as a kind of, there is one scene towards the end where there's a lot of strobe lights. I find it really difficult to watch strobe lights. So I had to shut my eyes for like a really long scene. And then at the end of it, when I could open my eyes again, there was a baby. That's just part of my viewing experience.
Is that like, strobe lights in the club, you go to the club, you open your eyes, boom, baby. There's a metaphor there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is, if you're into slashers or giallo, or if you want another Christmas film to add to, your festive horror roster, or if you're just interested in more kind of international cinema, that kind of thing, or if you like, maybe angel kind of narratives or
Mayhem.
Something like, I'm not suggesting there's anything supernatural in this kind of like slasher / giallo, but like it's so interesting, and yeah, really, really fun and interesting take on a horror film. So that's
a very
those are my Mayhem highlights.
Yeah, that's like a very varied and dynamic set of films. So a little bit of something from quite a lot of different categories there, which is the great thing about something like a film festival.
Yeah, I love, you know me, I really love international cinema. And it was really great to be able to watch so many good films from, there were loads that I enjoyed that I just couldn't fit on this list because otherwise we'd be here for ages. But this is just a flavor of Mayhem. Hopefully, if there's something here that you're interested in, like we said, might be on streaming, might be on Shudder, or it might be in a cinema. But if not, next year, why not go to a festival near you? Why not go to Mayhem?
Yeah, come to Nottingham.
Yeah, exactly.
Mayhem sponsor us. I won't be at many of the films, but I live here, and I will promote the shit out of you.
Yes.
There's also a really great mochi donut shop across the road from the cinema.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a little festive bonus. So you don't like horror. If you have enjoyed this episode, then please do like and subscribe and share it with a friend. If you have films that you want to recommend to us, we always love hearing your film recommendations. Yeah. So do message us or comment below.
Let us know what you're excited for 2026, if there's anything on the horizon that you're looking forward to, or not looking forward to in the case of Wuthering Heights.
Yeah, exactly. You're looking forward to, and also I am horrified that this exists.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're listening to this when it drops, you're probably listening to this in the in-between days, in the dead days between the Christmas and New Year period. So we hope you are staying festive, staying safe, and staying spooky.
Yes. Stay festive, stay safe, and stay spooky.